Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. The latest on the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk saga. Right, Alexander Krasnuk, Usyk's manager, has come out today and he has said he's offered Tyson Fury a 60-40 split to the winner of the fight. Right, so that means whoever wins the fight will get 60% of the pot. Never going to work. Just complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It is never going to work, right? Tyson Fury is the one who will be selling the majority of the tickets, right? The stadium will be sold out because of Tyson Fury, not because of Usyk. Now, I love Usyk. He's an unbelievable fighter. Big fan of his. But we have to be realistic here, right? It's just not going to happen. A 60-40 split to the winner. It's not going to happen because what would happen if it was a split decision, or if there was loads of controversy? You know, it's just something that won't happen. When you're offering deals like that, it makes you think, come on. Now, these guys aren't stupid. He knows Tyson isn't going to accept that, right? And I know people are saying, Tyson's a fighter, man. You should fight this guy for that amount, 60-40. I thought he'll fight someone for free. You know, let's be real here. We're not stupid. We're not babies. We understand boxing is a business. And yes, it frustrates us, but we have to understand the economics of this, right? As soon as Saudi pulled out, I said a few weeks ago, I don't see this fight happening because the fighters have been promised a certain amount of money and now that's been removed and now they've got to renegotiate for a fraction of the price, right? So it's a completely different ball game. Do I think this fight should be 50-50, a split? I can see that argument and I think it could be. I wouldn't say it's completely batshit crazy, 50-50 split. At the end of the day, they're both undefeated fighters and Usyk has 3 belts. However, Tyson is the one who's selling out the stadium. Right? That's the truth. Right? He is the A side. So it's not going to be 50-50. Right? So they have to negotiate. Should it be 60-40 for Tyson? I can see that. I can see that because at the end of the day, it's in a stadium in England. That's it, right? Tyson is the one who'll be selling the ticket. So I can see that. But I think the split should be higher, right? And you've got to treat Usyk with respect. He's got 3 belts. You can't be coming on and saying, fall in line and, we're the A side and, you do as we tell you. This isn't a bum, right? This is an undefeated and one of the best fighters who has ever put the gloves on, in my opinion, right? So this isn't an idiot. So you have to be respectful, right? They can't be fall in line or anything like that. He has 3 belts. If you're going to promote this as an undisputed fight, the first one for over 25 years, you can't then just dismiss that and go, well, it don't really matter. That's what the fight's based on, undisputed. So Usyk has got a very strong position at the negotiation table. But we all know the issues. Look, I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan. I am. I've defended him to the hilt. But I'll also criticise him when he needs criticising. And for me, I've said it many times. He knows this fight is a tremendously difficult fight for him. Contrary to what people think, Usyk causes him major problems. He knows that. So Tyson wants to be paid accordingly. Because let me tell you something, if Tyson loses to Usyk, he ain't in a strong position at the negotiation table at an AJ fight or a Ngannou fight. Because at the end of the day, this is an undefeated heavyweight champion who's won nearly every belt in boxing, I think, besides one, a Century Area title. He's won basically every belt in boxing, so he's been billed as that. So if he loses this fight, some of the gloss goes away. It does. So he's thinking, I want to be paid as much as possible. But it's become a mess, hasn't it? It's the kind of thing that makes you turn off from boxing because it's ridiculous. I've never known anything like it. I mean, what are we doing here? You've got a chance to fill out a stadium, Wembley Stadium, and now that's being laughed at. Not good enough. As though it's a local leisure centre with 200 people in. I mean, fuck me. What have we come to with boxing? I mean, I understand you want to be paid as much as possible. Like, boxing is a hard sport. But somewhere along the line, fighters and promoters have to understand that you ain't getting paid without the fans. That's it. I don't care who's offering you what. You are not getting paid without the fans. If the fans don't view your product, if the fans don't buy a ticket, if they don't view your social media content, guess what? You don't get offers from Saudi and you don't fill out Wembley Stadium. Right? So somewhere along the line, someone has to come on here and say, you know what? Let's give a little bit back to the fans. You're still making your millions and millions and millions. What do you want? You want 500 million? Should we just give you $1 billion to fight? Like, I don't understand you in the sport of boxing, right? Yes, maximise, get as much as money as you can. But don't take the piss. Do you know what I mean? Don't come out and say this guy's a middleweight and he'll fight anyone and you'll fight anyone and this is the fight that's going to happen. I'll destroy him. I'll beat him. But yeah, I won't take him because I don't fancy giving him 40%. Or I don't fancy it being 50-50. You know, come out. You know what I think we should do? I think we should see the negotiations. I think they should come out, the teams, and let's see who is stopping this fight happening. I think it should happen in all fights. I think there should be public negotiations. I've mentioned this before, right? I think this is what should happen because then it cuts out the bullshit, doesn't it? Right? It cuts out the absolute crap because let me tell you something. If certain negotiations were made public, there'd be a lot of embarrassment in boxing. Let me tell you. Because when we're being told certain things, we don't know. They can tell us anything. They can tell us anything and we would be none the wiser because we don't know, right? But the issue with this is it's clearly Tyson Fury, right? Going off what Frank Warren is saying, he's saying he's got a certain amount of money to play with. If both fighters don't want it, it is what it is. There's nothing he can do. And I can understand Frank Warren's frustration because what can he do? If Tyson is saying, look, I don't care about the bouts, which he's said many times, and I don't think he does. He's had issues with the IBF because they stripped him straight away after we beat Klitschko. So he's not really that bothered. He just wants the biggest amount of money as possible. And that's fine. But I'd rather you just relinquish your WBC bout and say, you know what? I just want the biggest fights possible. I don't care if it's an MMA fighter. I don't care if it's a YouTuber. I don't care if it's a basketball player. I'm not really interested in the bouts. And just relinquish the bouts and let other fighters fight for who actually want to win it. Do you know what I mean? And look, I love Tyson. I really do. And it's just so frustrating to see this. It really is because it just makes you think, mate, when you're coming out saying you're going to fight anyone and everyone, but it's not really true, is it? It's not really true, you know, and it's just disappointing in Tyson because we want to see this fight. We've all supported him, you know, we're all fans of his, and we want to see it. So let's give something back to the fans instead of taking and squeezing every last bit. You're good. You're still going to make money. You're still going to make millions of pounds, and you can be undisputed world champion. What more do you want? Just scratching my head here. It's baffling. Like, you've got fighters paying to fight. Literally, up-and-coming prospects have to pay to fight. It's the hardest sport in the world, and you're being offered millions of pounds to fight. I can't understand what's going on. I can't understand it, and it's so frustrating. However, Usyk's team have to come to the table and they have to understand, right, that Tyson is the A-side. That's it, right? But they have to be treated with respect as well. Because as I say, this isn't a bum. This is a phenomenal fighter who we all love, a Ukrainian wizard, right? A phenomenal fighter. It's a great fight. It's sexy. It's a technical display of boxing. The sweet science is fascinating. We want to see it. But again, this is the problem with the sport. Right. I want you to let me know what you think of this, right? Do you agree with Tyson that he is the A-side and he should get the majority of the share, or the lion's share that he says? Do you think it should be a 50-50? Or are you open to the idea, what Alex Krasnik said, 60-40 to the winner? Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.